Section 2.1, Writing Equations. Example 1, translate each sentence into an equation. A. 7 times a number squared is 5 times the difference of k and m. So we're going to have to look at 7 times a number squared. So we would write that as a number squared would be x squared and 7 times that. 7 times x squared stands for equals 5 times the difference of k and m. Difference of k and m is k minus m. And I have to multiply 5 times all of that. So I'm going to put k minus m in parentheses. Example B, 15 times a number subtracted from 80. Now, 15 times a number, that's 15x, and I am subtracting it from the 80. So I have to write 80 first. 80 minus 15x stands for equal 25. Example C, 2 plus the quotient of a number and 8 is the same as 16. 2 plus the quotient. Well, quotient of a number and 8, quotient means to divide. So that's x over 8. What you read first goes in the numerator. What you read after the and goes in the denominator. And I have to add 2 plus that. Is the same as means equals 16. D, 27 times k is h squared decreased by 9. 27 times k stands for equals h squared decreased by 9. Example E, a number b divided by 3 is 6 less than c. A number b divided by 3 is 6 less than c. So that's c minus 6. D, 15 more than x times 6 is 11 less than y times 2. 15 more than, that's going to be plus 15. X times 6, that's 6x, and it goes in the front. Stands for equal 11 less than y times 2. Y times 2, that's 2y. And I have to subtract 11, so that's 2y minus 11. In 1919, Britain and France offered a flight that carried 2 passengers at a time. Now there are approximately 45,000 flights each day in the U.S., carrying hundreds of passengers on each flight. In how many days will 180,000 flights have occurred in the United States? Well, first we need to know D stands for the number of days. And there's 45,000 flights each day. Do we know how many days? No. They're D. Is equal to the total number of flights, 180,000 flights. So to solve for this, we're going to divide both sides by 45,000. And D is equal to 4. And this stands for days, so make sure you always label. There are 50 members in the North Carolina Senate. This is 70 fewer than the number in the North Carolina House of Representatives. How many members are in the United States in the North Carolina House of Representatives? Try to set this problem up yourself and then turn the machine back on. So pause it and try to do it yourself. Okay, there are 50 members in the Senate. And this stands for the members. This equals 70 fewer than the number in the North Carolina House of Representatives. Do we know how many how many members are in the House of Representatives? No. We're going to label that as R, minus 70. And then we would add 70 both sides to solve. So that's 120 members in the House of Representatives. Example 3, translate each sentence into an equation. Half of x minus 6 is the sum of y and 15. Half of x is 1/2 x. Make sure that you center the variable with the fraction. Minus 6 is the sum of y and 15. Sum means to add. It's y plus 15. Example B, 2/3 of x plus 6 is 1/4 of y increased by 8. 2/3 of x. It's 2/3 x. Now, again, when you have a fraction, don't slant your fractions. Write it, center the x. Plus 6 is 1/4 of y increased by 8. So 1/4 of means to multiply. 1/4 of 8 of y increased by 8. Example 4, translate each equation into a sentence. Well, there are several different ways you could write this. Let's try to use the fancy word of less than and more than in these problems. So 6x minus 15 is 45. A good way of writing this is 15 less than a number times 6 is 45. Example B, y squared plus 3x equals y. A number y squared, you could say plus or you could say increased, and plus another number x is w. Now you practice these yourself, turn it off, work these problems, and then turn the machine, pause, replay it, and see if you get the same answer. Number 1, 2, and 3 are pretty simple. Check your answers with mine. And do number 4 and 5. Number 4, be careful about the word quantity. Quantity means you put in parentheses. So 10 divided by a number would be 10 over n, and then we're going to multiply it by 20. And number 5, it's 6x is equal to $77.76 minus 576. Solve, and you get 12. And number 6, 8 friends went to a restaurant for dinner. The waiter gave them a bill for $130. So how many friends went? Or how much did each pay is x is equal to 130 plus the $30 for tip. So that'd be 8x is equal to 160 divided by 8, and x is equal to 20. So that's $20 each.